Hey guys, what's going on? King Power 44 here, and we have the new patch notes that came out today, November 15th. Patch 1.5.0.2. So all of the patch notes that were for the PTR previously are now in game, so all of these are live as we speak. So we're going to go through a couple of things. We might skip over things that we have gone over before, and I am going to give my opinion on certain things as well, since I've played, I think I've played a pretty good amount of the PTR after BlizzCon. So we're going to start off, obviously, the brand new hero, Sombra, is in the game. She is an offensive hero, as we said before. I'm going to skip over this because we've made, I think, 2 videos about Sombra's abilities. So I'll put them in a card on up here. Yeah, up that way. Should be like a little eye symbol. You guys can go and check that out. Now the next feature is the arcade. I played a ton of the game modes that were in the arcade, and I found them to be really fun. I think this was a great addition to Overwatch, because usually I would play some comp and then maybe some quick play if I wanted to do something fun, but there was just really nothing there for me to do where I wanted to like play the brawls, for instance, or you know, the 1v1 and 3v3 was something that I think was definitely needed for the game, because me and all my friends would always be like, oh, come on, I'm so much better than you, let's 1v1. So as they said at BlizzCon, it was definitely needed, and I like it. Now, hopefully, in 1v1, we will be seeing the change where you can challenge someone to a 1v1 game or invite someone into a 1v1 game so you can play against your friends, because right now, it's all random. You can't pick who you play in 1v1, so that needs to be fixed, I think. So let's talk about the arcade for a bit. It says that there are new ways to play Overwatch. There's 1v1, 3v3, and you know, the different brawls, as well as no limits 6v6, which is like what quick play used to be before there was a hero limit on it. After that, we see competitive season 3 being talked about. Now season 3 has not started yet. It will start, I think it says here, on November 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So that's, what, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock over here on the East Coast. I think it's 1 o'clock. So we have a week off. The Season 2 will end on November 23rd. And then we have from November 23rd to November 30th before Season 3 starts. So we're going to have that nice week off where a bunch of people are going to be playing quick play, and now that quick play has hero limits, it might be a little bit more competitive, and it'll be easier for you to practice with your team on quick play, because you won't be going up against like 3 divas or 5 Meis, something that just will not happen in competitive or quick play now. We're gonna be moving on to the general updates. So something that they changed was the amount of experience you need to reach levels 2 to 13. And from levels 14 to 100. So what they did was they slightly reduced the amount of XP you need to get from level 14 to level 100. And the experience needed to reach level 2 through 13 is remaining the same. And then the amount of experience needed to reach levels after 100, so if you prestige, it's all going to be the same 20,000 XP, because what they said were a lot of people were holding off, like once they hit level 100, from playing, because people would wait until an event came out and then, you know, just try to get those quick levels in the beginning so that they can get as many loot boxes as possible. And of course, this was not good for Overwatch, because a lot of people would just stop playing the game completely so that they wouldn't level up past 100, because there's no like promotion button. If you're level 100 and you keep playing the game, you will prestige. So here they're saying that quick play matches are now restricted to 1 hero per team, which is what we talked about before. And now spectating is up to 12. It used to be only 6 people could spectate the games, but now 12 people can spectate the games, which is really nice. And then we go into some hero balance changes. I'm going to run through them really quick because we did make a video about these hero balance changes when they were on the PTR, but I'll see if they changed anything, because I haven't really taken a look at them before. So obviously, doing damage to Torbjorn turrets or symmetric teleporters no longer charge your ultimates. I saw this in the PTR, and it works out well, because, you know, a Torbjorn could just put down his turret, you could one-shot it with like Pharah or something, or take it out real easily before it's level 2, and then he'll put it down again, and you can just charge your ultimate really quick from that. Another thing is Ana's Nano Boost no longer gives move speed, which is very, very good, because if you think about it, some of the combinations that were going on would be like, let's say you Nano Boost a Reinhardt, and then their Lucio also like gave him a speed boost. That Reinhardt was just charging through the battlefield, just swinging his hammer, killing everything, and he was really, really hard to hit. As well as some other heroes like Reaper or Genji, when they're nano boosted, because they have a much smaller frame, they're just zipping around the map. So I think not giving them the move speed increase doesn't take too much away from our ultimate, and does just enough to make sure that like Lucio can't really exploit it, or people who play in that team comp can't really exploit that movement speed. The next thing is that D.Va has her ultimate cost decreased. We've heard about that. Her max health has been increased to 200, and the armor remains at 400. So that's a total of 600 health, plus the armor that's giving them a little bit more than 600 technically, that you need to take down before D.Va will go to, I guess, Mini D.Va. That's what we're going to call her. And her movement speed while firing has been increased by 25%. I'm pretty sure that's both in and out of the mech, so that should be interesting. For the mech, though, like having that movement speed increase is going to be really, really, I don't want to say difficult for other people to deal with. It's going to make D.Va a little bit more viable, I guess, because she really didn't have too much movement while she was firing. She had to be in sort of a fixed position, moving very slowly, but we'll see. Next thing is Lucio's Amp It Up, so his healing per second has been decreased by 10%. Like I said, I don't think that that decreasing his healing was necessary, but they said that his overall healing output has been on par with or even higher than Overwatch's other heroes, and his other benefits made him an almost mandatory pick. I still think people are still going to pick Lucio because his AoE healing combined with someone like Ana when she throws her biotic grenade really keeps the team alive much better than either Mercy or Ana could do alone. Even Zenyatta doesn't heal that much, so I still think Lucio is going to be a standard pick. Mei's Blizzard ultimate cost has been increased by 15%. We've said this before, and I think this was perfect because the new Male is a lot bigger, and for her to have that as at the same amount of time or as frequent as she did when it was a small, it's really devastating to have Mei have that ability up so often. So the increase by 15%, I think that's perfect. Now, Mercy's passive health regeneration now activates when Mercy avoids taking damage for 1 second. Before it was 3 seconds. I think this is going to help Mercy out a lot because previously she was very easy to kill. Now, you know, Mercy likes to hide a lot, so she can take some hits, go and hide for like a second, and her health will regen pretty quickly. So I think that was definitely necessary for Mercy. Now for Pharah, I was going to make a video about how Pharah needs to be buffed with the new buffs to Soldier 76. McCree's still good against Pharah. Bastion's still good against Pharah. Pretty much anyone with a hit scan is good against Pharah. Sombra, I've seen in a lot of matches, really burst down Pharah by throwing her teleporter up, zipping up there, hitting Pharah, and then falling to the ground. She can do a nice amount of damage from that distance, but her rocket launcher is now going to do more minimum explosive damage, so it should be nice to shoot into the enemy teams. And the explosion knockback has been decreased to 0, so it's not going to push people off from just her rocket launcher. Her I'm forgetting the name of it, her concussive grenade, I think it's called, it's still going to push people around, but her rocket launcher won't do it anymore. It will do a little bit more damage. And now her jump jet's lift is increased by 35%. And I've seen this in the PTR, and she can stay in the air for a nice amount of time and move around the map a lot easier. And I think this was also necessary because having heroes like Soldier 76 and McCree able to shoot her out of the sky, I don't think it's that much of a detriment to have her being in her element in the sky. So I like that a lot. Now for Soldier 76, we were just talking about him. His bullet damage has been increased from 17 to 20, and his maximum bullet spread has been increased from 2.2 to 2.4. Now what I've seen from this on the PTR is you are very dangerous as Soldier now, and it might make him sort of a viable pick over McCree sometimes, because he can take down Pharah, or for that matter anyone that he puts his sights on, and he can do it really, really quickly. I like it a lot. And with the bullet spread, I think what they're trying to do is to get people to burst fire more with Soldier 76 than to just hold it down and just lay into the enemy. But like I said, I have played him on the PTR and he feels extremely strong and I like it. Torbjorn now has his scrap automatically generated over time, so the amount of scrap that he gets from enemies is going to be really, really low. It's been decreased by 40%. His swing speed on his hammer has been increased by 25%, but the damage that it does is decreased by 27%, and the reason why they did that is because they don't want Torbjorn just running around hammering people. They did this so that he can get his turns up faster. And now obviously armor packs will be all over the place now that he regens on his own. He doesn't have to go into battle to go get the scrap that he needs. For Widowmaker, her explosion venom, the explosion from her venom mine no longer damages the Widowmaker who placed the venom mine, which I think should have been done in the first place. And her Widow's Kiss charge rate is increased by 20%, so she's gonna be her rate of fire is gonna be up a little bit. So I like the changes to Widowmaker. I feel like this is making her a little bit more flexible and not as like if you missed like 1 or 2 shots with Widowmaker before, you're pretty much done, especially if the enemy team was coming at you, because there was no way you were gonna charge up enough to go and continue doing that. Now for Zarya, her particle barrier now gains 20% less power when hit, and the same thing for her projected barrier. A lot of people thought that this was necessary, and I think it is too. Zarya was really, really strong, and now this is going to even her out. It's not going to make her too weak. It's only 20%, but you're going to really want to use that barrier when a lot more people are firing rather than just like throwing it on whenever it's up, because you would gain way too much charge, and Zarya would be like at 100% for a very long time, or a very high charge like 80%, which still does a lot of damage. Now that's it for the heroes. Some of the other things that went into this for the user interface is the loading screen now displays the names of the chosen game mode when playing in the arcade. That's pretty cool. I like that. I was noticing before that I would pick, like, let's say I picked the brawl. I wouldn't really see which brawl we were in. It would just be loading, but I did see that they fixed that. And then a couple of bug fixes that we really don't need to talk about. I think that's it, right? Let me see. Yeah, that's it, guys. All right, so that's it for the new patch. That is patch, I think it's 1.5.0.2. That is out today on November 15th, so you guys can go ahead and play that. Keep practicing. Season 3 is going to be upon us, so if you guys are not at the rating that you want to be, you'll get another chance in a couple of weeks. I'm King Power 44. Before I go, remember to leave me a comment on what you guys think about the new patch. And like the video if you haven't yet, and subscribe if you haven't yet. We're going to have a lot more Overwatch content coming out, as well as World of Warcraft stuff. I've been a little busy, so I haven't been able to you know, like just chuck videos out. But I'm going to do my best to get as many as I can out in the upcoming weeks. All right, I'm King Power 44. I'm out of here. Peace.